Our primary function is to go out and patrol the city and assist the officers in the district with any crimes in progress type of situations, any calls that require K-9's ability. What makes a good dog? A confident dog, has to have a good stable temperament, very outgoing, very free in his attitude. He's got to have a lot of prey drive or hunt drive, want to play with toys. I look for a dog that likes to interact with the handler. And by that I mean if I throw a ball for the dog to search and retrieve, I want the dog to bring it back to me to interact with me versus taking the ball and going laying down somewhere on his own. You look for that connection. The dog respects the handler respects the dog. You can tell the relationship between a handler and dogs by the way the dog responds to the handler's command. The way the dog brushes up against the handler, the way the dog's tail starts going once the handler calls him. And typical day is patrolling high crime areas, responding to priority 1 calls, crimes in progress. We like to advise the handlers to respond almost automatically to any B&E in progress, any crimes involving firearms or robberies. With the K-9 unit, you need to be able to realize when you're going to be needed and respond to those calls before they even realize they need you. It's a very physically demanding job, even more than people would realize. A lot of fence jumping, tracking. Physically, their body goes faster than their mind does. So we have 10-year-old dogs who can still do the job mentally, but physically they can't. Each handler that's assigned a K-9 takes that dog home with them. Each handler is provided with a kennel to basically put up at their homes, and the dogs are basically, we keep the dogs kenneled or crated. Once the dog retires, the dog will retire home with the handler. Basically, we have a few handlers right now that have 2 dogs at home, a retired dog as well as an active dog. Anywhere from 4 to 6, 8 weeks in the training course, sometimes for certain reasons, dogs will end up washing out of the program. It's basically as the training gets more strenuous, some dogs are capable of handling, some dogs aren't. By strenuous, I just mean there's more involved in the training. We used to have a lot of problems when we were basically taking donated dogs, house pets, and trying to convert them into police dogs. Usually by week 4 or 5, we start realizing that the dog likes the couch better than running around outside. Whenever they do something we want, we can reward them very quickly with a toy. The way I like to train a self-motivated dog, or a dog that's motivated to work for a reward, is going to be a little bit easier trained than another dog. He'll do whatever I ask him to do in order to get rewarded. Good. Goose, sit. Goose, sit. Okay. Our play will also show them stuff they may see when they run into bad guys, kicking, shoving, coming over the head, grabbing them, grab them here.
Just play the bad guy, you know, fight the dog when he comes in on the bike, try to show him some stuff they'll see on the street. Always want to empower the dog. The dog never loses. He always comes out the winner. So that way when he sees something on the street, like Troy said before, it's play for him. It's nothing personal.
But the shepherds or the patrol dogs, as kind of almost a rule that we don't over-socialize them with other dogs. Most of our dogs are very dominant dogs, which is what makes them police dogs. So when you start mixing them in with other dominant dogs, you're probably going to have some dog fights. If we're working a crowd control situation, the dogs can work in a line together. If we're doing a search, we can have multiple dogs out searching a large area, say for evidence or for a person that's in the woods or lost or something. When we're doing our narcotic searches, we can have multiple dogs searching different vehicles at the same time. So the dogs are tolerant of other dogs. The dogs are very easy, but trying to take a person and make them understand what these dogs can do and release that trust to the dog and understand the dog knows what he's doing and allow the dog to work is probably the toughest part.